Hello, good evening. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I am here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments so that I may answer your questions. Now, I have a great topic for you, and it's what types of immigration relief is out there when you are in an abusive situation. And I'm going to elaborate because it could be different types of situations. It may be a domestic situation, a family situation, a work situation. Hi there, Karen. It's nice to see you. And so if you're in an abusive situation like this, is there any immigration relief for you? Now I'm talking about individuals who are in the United States. Hi there, Yatin. In the United States, possibly without status or even in status, and you are trying to get out of a bad situation, but you're worried about your immigration status. Now, there are options available. You'll hear me talk about this often. You'll see it in my videos often where I talk about VAWA. VAWA is the immigration relief for individuals who are being mistreated by a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident, spouse, a parent, if you're under 21, under 25 in some cases, or by a U.S. citizen's son or daughter, 21 and up. If they're mistreating you verbally, mentally, emotionally, financially, there is relief here. Now, I want to go on to talk about other options. What if you are in a relationship with someone who is abusing you, but you're not married? What if you are working for an employer who is abusing you, and yet there's no family relationship at all? That employer is abusing you, they're taking advantage of you, and they are definitely not going to sponsor you. Do you have relief in those cases? And the answer is absolutely. There is immigration relief available in scenarios like this. Now let's backtrack to the relationship where you're in a relationship with someone, you're not married to them, but you are being abused by them. Now, the first is VAWA can still apply to common law marriages. So if you've been living with the spouse for a certain amount of time, some states will still consider this common law marriage. But what if there's not even common law marriage? Then my question would be, what are the facts involved in this situation? If this person is abusive and they're threatening you and they're forcing you to stay with them to carry out certain duties in the household, if it's even they're trying to force you to be their boyfriend or their girlfriend against your will, then this could be a form of trafficking. And depending on the nature of the relationship and what's happening in your relationship, this could amount to labor or sex trafficking. So if you're being abused physically, emotionally by a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and yet they're forcing you to be with them, you don't feel safe leaving them, or they're making you feel like you can't leave the relationship because of your status, that could be a form of sex trafficking. Also, if you are and labor trafficking, if they are forcing you to do work for them, forcing you to work for their business, forcing you to work in their house, forcing you to clean the house, this could be a form of sex and labor trafficking. If this person is an employer and they are forcing you, and this force may not necessarily, this doesn't have to mean physical force. If they are giving you the feeling that you cannot leave the situation, or if they're tricking you and you now realize that they've tricked you into working for them, if they're paying you little and nothing or paying you nothing at all, if they're threatening to report your immigration status or saying that they can't pay you because of your immigration immigration status, this could be a form of labor trafficking. And so it would allow you to get the T status. The T status allows you to stay in the US. It allows your children who are under 21 and unmarried to get status along with you. And it could be a path to permanent residence after 3 years of having the status. So it is an option in the case that you don't have a family relationship, but you do have a situation where you feel like you're being forced to do something against your will. All right, so also with the U visa, keep in mind that with the U visa, if you've been the victim of domestic violence, but from a family member, from a relative, then and this has been reported to the police, they can certify this through U certification, and this would allow you to also get status under the U status. The U status would allow you to get your work permit while you wait for the entire process to go through. So there are options available in the case that you're in an abusive situation and you want to get out. There are ways to do this, and I just listed some of those ways. Now, I'm also here to answer your immigration questions, and so let me go through and look for those questions. Let me remind you, I'm both on YouTube and I am on TikTok right now, so use the comments to put your questions in. Can you do premium processing for green card holder for the I-130? So no, not right now. Maybe that's gonna be something for the future, but they're not doing that right now. I sent in my citizenship application, but I recently did a fingerprint for my job. So the citizenship application is gonna be separate from the fingerprint for your job. If they need fingerprints from you, they are going to schedule an appointment for you to go into an application support center and get your biometrics taken. Every time I call USCIS, they don't give me info. What should I do? So Yatin, this is where you have to schedule an appointment. I really would not be able to advise you on what you should do specifically. They say they see it in the system and will use that, but won't refund me. So they're not going to refund. So your fingerprints at your job is not related to the immigration service. When they say they're reusing your fingerprints, they're using old fingerprints that they have on file at the immigration service to do the background check. And they're not going to give the $85 refund because they look at it as if they're still going to have to process the background check and that whole process. So they don't give the refunds. Hi there, it's nice to see you. It's Jay for real. So I don't have any insight on the asylum processing. So if you're talking about Title 42, where they have not